What's up guys, this is Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to do a quick video showing you guys Garuda Linux. So as I stated in the intro of the video, I wanted to go down and show you guys Garuda Linux, and it's a Linux distribution. The origin is actually India, and it's a Arch-based Linux distribution that's been around for a little while, and I just want to, it's kind of catching some steam, and I just wanted to go down and show you guys this distribution. You guys know that every now and then I like to do a distro review just to show you guys something different, especially a distribution that's not widely known in the Linux community. So first thing, let me go down and go to DistroWatch so I can show you guys this distribution and we can read a little bit about it. So let's get started there. Okay, cool. So I'm at DistroWatch, and this is Garuda Linux. And Garuda Linux is a rolling distribution based on Arch Linux operating system. Unlike Arch Linux, Garuda Linux comes with a graphical installer, Calamares, for easy installation and other advanced graphical tools for managing your system. Garuda is a performance-oriented distro with more performance-enhancing tweaks. Some of the many tweaks include using ZRAM, a performance CPU governor, along with custom memory management software. Garuda Linux has striven to provide system stability by including the time shift backup utility. So that's one cool thing about this distribution. It kind of pushes your computer to the limits, and I hope I don't run into any issues when installing this in a virtual machine, because obviously it's in a virtual machine, and so it's gonna try to use as much of the CPU as possible, as well as memory. Like it states, it's a performance oriented distribution, so it's made for like newer hardware and a lot of RAM. It'll try to use all your RAM based on what I read about this distribution, but this should be a super cool installation. I just want to walk you guys through it. I mean, you guys didn't seen this before. It's the Calamares installation, so it's very easy to install. But one cool thing about it, they have a whole bunch of desktop environments you can download, and I'll go to their website right now just so you guys can see the different downloads. But it's basically garudalinux.org, and I already have it open right here. So let me go to the main website, and here we go. So Garuda Linux, and choose your desktop environment. They have KDE, GNOME, XFCE, Cinnamon, Mate, LXQT, Wayfire, Qtile, and BSPWM, and i3 window manager. So you have a lot of options for desktop environments that you can use. So this is just a little bit of more information about it. You know, it just kind of shows, you know, how beautiful it is. Unleash the beauty and the performance, you know what I'm saying, like that. So let's go ahead on and go to the download page. I already have it downloaded, but I just want to show you guys the minimum requirements. It says 30 gigabytes of storage space is minimum, and 4 gigabytes of RAM. And then it says the recommendation is actually 40 gigabytes storage space and 8 gigabytes of memory. Video core with OpenGL 3.3 or better. It says our additions are optimized for performance on real hardware. Installing on a virtual machine is not recommended, as it might result in a bad experience. So if you guys see issues with mine, like I said, this distribution is made to be installed on actual hardware, so I might run into issues. We'll see as we're going through the process, but I at least want to show you the system installed in a virtual machine, and I hope it doesn't crash or just go crazy or haywire too much. But I'll walk through the system and show you guys how it actually works. But if we scroll down a little more, this is the live session login right here. So it's Garuda and Garuda. So the username is Garuda and the password is Garuda. And if we scroll down a little further, this is where you can download all the different versions of it. Now this is the KDE version. So you can download that one, but if you keep scrolling down, you'll see all the different versions. They have this is a normal KDE version, or it says D446ernized KDE version, and I don't know what that is. Dr. 46ernized, I'm not sure what that is, but it's a different version of KDE, and I'm assuming it has something to do with the theme that's on it. And yeah, if you read right here, it says it's a suitified plasma desktop with Fish as the default shell. So you could try that version, but if you keep going down, this is a multimedia one, and then you could download that one there. Then they got an XFCE, which is my favorite, you know what I'm saying? So, and then there's a known version and all those different versions that I listed out in the beginning. But let's go down and get to the install. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. Just download whichever version you want. This is the actual version that I'll be installing, which is the LXQT version. So let's go down and get to the install. Okay, cool. So I have the virtual machine up and running, and the first thing you'll do is get greeted with this pop-up that basically asks you if you want to install it. And for some reason I'm having a little issue with the panel at the bottom. It's not showing up properly, but I'm gonna just go straight to the install without messing with this. I don't want to spend too much time going through trying to figure out how to fix this. For some reason it should be down at the bottom of the screen, but it's not. But anyway, I'm gonna just hit install Garuda Linux, and let's go through the install process. And like I said, it'll pull up the Calamari installer, and this is a very easy installer to follow. You just basically hit next, and you're done. Unless you have like some super configurations that you want to do to the partitions or anything like that. But other than that, you know, it's pretty simple. So this cool. Right here, this is asking you, you know, your location. So we can roll with that. And then it looks like the system language will be set to American English. And you can go in and change this from here, which is cool. And then also says the numbers and dates locale will be set to American English. So that's good for me. And obviously you can change this if you're in a different part of the world. So just do that from there. But let's hit next. And then this is your keyboard layout. Pretty simple. Just select whatever keyboard you want based on the location you are, what type of keyboard you have. So let's hit next. And right here, this is how you want to set up the hard drive. And like I said, this is probably the hardest port. And if you're setting up your hard drive manually, you know what I'm saying, you'll have to go through and make changes to the partition, create the partitions, you know, and set everything where you want it, like the home directory. If you want things on like a separate partition, you know, you can go through and manually partition the drive right there. So I'm gonna just hit erase disk. And right here, this is a new update. Before, when I went through the Calamari installer, it didn't ask you if you wanted the swap or not. So that's cool to see that added into it. But no swap is fine for me. Or actually, let's swap it to a file. That should be pretty cool. And it says this will delete the data that's on the drive. This is a virtual machine, it's nothing on it. And then also there's an option right here for you to encrypt the system. So if you want to encrypt it, you know, you could do it that way. And then let's hit next, and shit, actually for your user account. So let's go on and just create Josh. And then let's name this the actual distribution. That's what I always like to do. And Linux, cool. And then let's put in a password for it. That's the next little step. And I kind of like this dark theme on the Calamari installer. You know what I'm saying? I like dark themes, so they're pretty cool. And then right here is basically asking you if you want to use the same password for the administrator account. That's what I always do. You could do it different if you want to. It says log in automatically. I never do that without asking for the password. But let's go down and hit next. And this is the summary. It basically will summarize all the selections that you made. And let's go down and hit install and go through the install. And actually, I'll just let this go. I'll skip back. I'll pause the video and come back when this is actually done. But the process is a simple process. Just gonna go through and install everything. Well, partition the drives, then install the operating system, create the accounts, and then install Grub, and you get to go. And it'll ask you to reboot, but I'll be back when it completes. Okay, cool. So the installation is complete. I'm gonna go down and reboot the system. What you want to do is hit that check mark right there. It says restart now, and this will restart the actual system when we hit done. And one thing I wanted to state before this, I forgot when we were partitioning the drive to explain that it uses BetterFS, which is a different file system that's been around for about a decade or so, but it's considered a very stable, file system. I forgot to explain that, but BetterFS is the actual file system that's used. Now let's hit done so we can reboot the system. All right, cool. So this is the greeter. Let's go down and select our user account and log into the system. And let's get some of the things straight, like our display and all that. Okay, cool. So it says, welcome to Garuda Linux. Would you like the setup assistant to finish your installation? Let's just say yes. Just get it to pop up. Do you want the recent mirror list? So yeah, that's cool. We can do that. And then let's go up in here. I wanna fix the screen right fast. I hate when I log into one of these systems and you can't see everything in these virtual machines. So let's just go down and make it correct. Boom. Cool. And there we go. This is basically the mirrors, and we want to rank United States first. So that's good. And it'll go through and test the fastest connection, and it'll organize the mirrors based on the connection. If you don't know what this is, the mirrors are basically the repositories, the closest repositories to you. That's basically what it's doing. It's organizing them based on how fast they ping and how fast they respond. So let's just wait until it's finished. Shouldn't take too much longer, but it's basically testing those mirrors like I stated. All right, cool. So that's done. It went on and found the closest mirrors, and then we can hit save. We can save that to our mirror list, and we need to type in our password for this because the mirror list is in a location, that's owned by root. So we have to type in that pseudo password. But let's hit yes. That way it goes on and updates or check for updates. Yeah, let's make it a little smaller. Might not be that many updates. Let's go on, make this a little bit smaller. And this is one thing I wanted to show you guys. Like I was saying, it'll try to do a time shift snapshot. As you can see, it created one. And I'll show you guys this when I reboot the system. And we may run into, it looks like we're running into a few errors, but we'll see. It says BetterFS returned an error. But as long as the updates are done, should be good. We might have an issue with the snapshot though, based on what it's saying. But let's keep rolling with it or whatever. So I can show you some of the other features. I just wanted to, kind of update the system. Actually, let's go on it while this is updating. Let's go through and show you guys something right fast. I wanted to go into the Garuda Assistant. Cool. And the Garuda Assistant is right here. Now I really wanted to just show you guys this. I wish it would put that in the back, but I guess while it's running updates, you can't move that in the background because it's probably running. This is part of the finalization of the install, so that's why it's doing that. And it says upgrade to ultimate. Let's hit no right now. It says you can select which apps you want. I'm gonna hit no on that, and let's go down and remove the setup assistant, which is fine, and press pi. And once you do this stuff, it doesn't ask you anymore. But this is the pop-up, the main pop-up that'll just give you information about the system. This is the welcome screen pretty much. But I'm gonna close it. Well, actually, these are some of the areas I wanted to show you guys, like the Garuda Assistant. That's I already have it open, but this is one of the things I really wanted to show you guys. This is super cool. You normally have to go in and start enable services or change services. You can do a lot of those settings changes from here. You can turn on Samba support, SMB service. You can activate the services from here. You don't have to go to the command line and activate certain things. You can just activate it from here, which is super cool. Like your network manager service, you can activate that service just by clicking it, and everything should work from there. But anyway, this is some of the maintenance. You can reinstall all packages, refresh the mirror list. It's just a few things under maintenance that you could do, you know, edit repositories, remove orphans, clear package cache. You can clear the logs as well. And then BetterFS, you can go in and mess with the drive. They have some services that are associated with it, and you can balance the drive itself and refresh, and it gives you some disk information right here. And then if we go under settings, it's just some extra settings, you know, that you can modify on here. And then under the privacy, they do have like AdGuard DNS and HBlock, so that's there as well under the assistant. Now this is, you know, super cool that they have this thing, this assistant added to the system. It's super cool. But one of the other things I wanted to show you guys is the Garuda settings manager. So let's see if we can get into that right now. I think it's under preferences. Yeah, Garuda settings manager. And we all know this. If you use Manjaro, this is basically taken from Manjaro. So you can, you know, change the kernel, install a new kernel, you know, change the current kernel that you're using, you know, modify the kernel however you need to, or switch it out if you need to, and install other kernel versions if you want to. They got some hardware configurations. This will go through, you know, if you got like video cards and all that stuff, you can install certain drivers for it directly from here. So, and if you use Manjaro, then I'm pretty sure you understand how to use this. So let's go on and quit. I just wanted to show you guys that, as well as the PayMac package manager. So if we go under add remove software, that should bring up the PayMac package manager, and that's what that is. Let's just make sure. Yeah, PayMac 10.0.3-4. You can install, you know, all your packages from here. It even has snap support if you want to enable it. I'm not sure if it's enabled or not, but this is how you can go through, like I said, install all your little applications that you want, you know, on your system. You can run your updates as well. It'll show you everything that's installed on there. Very simple application to use, just like any other software center. So let's go down and close it. Now, lastly, I just wanted to show you another feature that should be installed. I'm not sure if it's installed in here. And that's Garuda Gamer. That's another application I wanted to show you guys that's super cool for people that play video games. But as you can see, it has everything you need as a gamer, like Steam, and a lot of this stuff I do not know because I don't play many games, but I do know Lutris and Play on Linux, as well as Wine. So they have all these different tools in here for you, you know what I'm saying, in one place. They even have emulators that you can install, RetroArch, you know what I'm saying. Anything and everything dealing with games, you good to go with this Garuda Gamer application that's on the system. So that's super cool. Now, lastly, since I upgraded the system, it was one other thing I wanted to show you guys, and this will require me to reboot the system. And this is super cool. One thing about Garuda that's different from a lot of different OSs is it incorporates time shift into the updates, like we seen when we updated the system. Well, one thing that it does is take snapshots, and those snapshots can be accessed from Grub. So without even booting up the system, you can go into the snapshots and load up a snapshot from the previous, from before you ran any updates on your system. So this was the last snapshot. It'll show you a list of 5 from what I remember. You can see 5 of the latest snapshots. Every time you update the system, a snapshot is created of your system, and you can roll back And that's one cool thing to help people that are new to Arch. When installing applications, some of those applications, depending on how they're managed or how much they're tested, they may run into problems, or you may run into issues, or you can kind of mess up your system. Well, this snapshot thing is great for people, like I said, new to Arch Linux. They can roll back to a different snapshot. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys on Garuda. It's a pretty cool distribution. Like I said, I've only been playing around with it for a couple days now. I installed it twice already, and those were some of the most important things I wanted to point out to you guys that makes it different from a lot of different OSs, or a lot of different Linux distributions, or Arch based Linux distributions. Because as you know, it's a lot of Arch based distributions that are coming out and are different. I try to stay away from the major ones, or ones that I've seen other people do videos on. I try to pick something that's a little bit different, so I can make myself kind of stand out, or show, you know, a different distribution that's not highlighted as much. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below, and of course, keep it techie.